how do you find your identity as a company, and how do you amplify that? It starts with understanding what your competitors are doing and auditing, like, what are they doing for pay? What are they doing for benefits? And maybe you're a smaller, medium-sized company and you can't match all of those things, but one thing you can do is take the top 3 people you have in your company that you want to clone. They've been there 12 years, 15 years, right? Maybe 5 if you're a new business. Sit them down individually and spend 30 minutes on an interview. Hey, why do you show up every day? What do you like about working here? What do you, what do you enjoy most about what we do as a company? We do these things with customers, right? So we'll ask a customer, hey, where'd you find us? I found you on through so and so. Great. What'd you like about us? Oh, I love this process. So we do the research when it comes to our customers to know how to become a better client facing brand. We can do that same internal audit to figure out, and you'll find crazy things. Maybe it's you celebrate birthdays. Maybe it's for smaller companies like we were at one point. It was the fact that I, as the owner, was intimate with every single person that worked here. So now I've got a competitive advantage from all these big companies when I was much smaller, 3 crews, interact with the owner every day, one-on-one mentorship and guidance, like growth and connection, right? In the business. And those are what we were able to attract the people that corporation. I remember I hired somebody and I couldn't believe this worked. So I figured this out, started advertising it, hired a site superintendent. And he took the job. And I asked him, I said, okay, we gave you about the same pay. What made you want to work here? He said, I've spent more time with you as the owner of this business in this interview than I have the owner of my company in the last 12 years. He said, that's why I want to work here.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
That's such a big thing, though, asking why. Just on the sales and marketing side, how did you hear about us? Like, where did you find us? Was it a Google search? Was it one of our ads that we run on social media? Was it because we put a yard sign in someone's yard? How did you find us? Same exact process for the hiring side. How did you find us? And why did you choose us? What stuck out?
And then if you ever lose anybody, same thing, right? It's like, hey, can I ask you, what is it that you didn't like about us? I'd love to just take a couple minutes of your time and maybe give them something, gift them a coffee or whatever, a gift card to Starbucks, right? Hey, 10 minutes of your time. What was it that this company offered me? I found out one time, vacation time as I was growing was a huge thing. Like I found out that competitors were wiping the floor with us for vacation time. So I had to come up with at the time, this is going back a while, but we came up with, to give strategies to the listeners, like we came up with this way where you could accrue more vacation time. So we were able to advertise in the job posting 4 weeks paid vacation. They come in for the interview, we're telling them how they can get there.
Yeah.
But I got way more attention from the candidates versus my competitors who were saying 2 or 3 weeks, right? So then they're trying to up it. But I didn't know that was such a hot button for this new generation of talent. And so instead of this bonus, I had 2 weeks paid vacation plus bonus. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make the bonus the vacation. You can bonus up to another 2 weeks. We'll show them how to get there. So I reframe the ad. All of a sudden, I'm getting way more applicants.
Yeah. So much of it is perspective.
We had Tom Reber on maybe 2 months ago, and it's one of the points he makes is quit selling to your wallet. You've got these hey, they want money. They can't live on what we're, you think it's that, and that's not it at all. And the other thing you say, he's talking about customers, but they buy from you for their reasons, not yours. Find out what they are. So it's the same thing here. They come work for you for their reasons. All your interviews, understanding what those reasons are, and they're not your reasons.
And I think it's, like, have either of you ever been bitten by a horse?
Actually, I have.
I have not.
Yeah.
Not spent a lot of time with horses.
Most people haven't, right? But most people have been bitten by a mosquito. So what's the analogy here? Sometimes it's the little things that get you, right? And so it's about going deep on those little things, right? Like take the 10 minutes to do the interview with the person that's been there 15 years. Take the 20 minutes to audit your hiring competitors, right? Which we've discussed so far. Take the 15 or 20 minutes to figure out what maybe a candidate who, if you had 3 or 4 people, even if they took another job, we used to follow up. If I found a really good resume, I would call that person once every 2 weeks, ongoing, even though I knew that they had already taken a job. I'd see online that they updated it to another company. I'm like, I got to know how that company got that person. I have to know. And so, but it's
Yeah.
those little details, the mosquitoes, like going deep on these little things that can completely shift your business.
Yeah. Man, so good. So let's go back to the process really fast. So I call it mapping. What do you whenever you're at the beginning, just thinking about who you are as a company, where we're trying to go, who we need, where can we find them? What do you call that first part of that phase?
So in the course, we called it a clear understanding. So it was
Clear
really
understanding,
yeah.
right? What else are we missing there? Like job description, roles and responsibilities, processes they can follow. Like that's kind of the understanding it, right? Or what else would you add to it, I guess?
So understanding your competitors, understanding who you want,
Mhm.
understanding where to find them, which we can talk about. The other big one is don't hire for unicorns. So
Mm.
I did this. I was guilty. This cost me years. And what I mean by that was, so I used to believe that if you were going to be an estimator at my construction company, you needed to know how to estimate brick, block, stone, tile, stucco, grading, concrete, site work, drainage, and waterproofing. Want to know how I know those so well? Because that was literally on the,
On the ad.
like, that was it. If you could, yeah, if you couldn't tick one of those boxes, you were OUT faster than I could say NO, right? And so part of this setup is we figured out that we ended up niching down the business and focusing. So I've split masonry and concrete up. Pulled the waterproofing division out. I divisionalized the business. And so I was able to triple and quadruple the people that I could bring in. So the first thing, one of the exercises you can do is what we call high skill equals high pay. So before you do anything, take all the key people you have and write down on a daily, weekly, monthly basis what they're doing. And so it's this concept of how do I optimize my team before I maximize? And there's two parts to it. One is looking at, do they actually have to know all of these things? Going back to my estimator example, I was like, well, they don't have to know waterproofing. They don't, I mean, it'd be nice, right? They don't have to know site work and grading. I could split and hire two, senior estimators and have one run one division, run another, like that. So that's one piece. The other one is trim the fat. So if you do this exercise, what you'll find is you might find a project manager that's going around printing plans, and you realize they're spending 3 or 4 hours a week going around picking up office supplies or printing plans, or maybe they're dropping off samples or submittals. So when you take every position and you optimize it first, what you'll find is, oh, I've got efficiency and reallocation already in my company. You might be able to take a project manager and hire two project engineers and get the equivalent of two really good project managers now. But I hired a lower skill, more available position. So it's that allocation of resources first, and then you go into, all right, what do I need? But that exercise, because it's so difficult, changes the framework.
Hmm. Man, love that. Just really getting clear on what you actually need and what not being set in your ways. Like you said, it starts with mindset of just kind of opening it up your mind a little bit. Um, Love it.